Good morning. Hi, Joseph. I apologize. Oh my gosh, I used a different link than I usually do. And when I got your text and I went in and checked, it had some crazy password in there. So I just made it so I can admit everyone. I'm so sorry about that. I was like, really? No one's showing up today? That's amazing.
No harm, no foul. Whoa.
Oh,
We're double dipping here.
All right, let me just, all right, I'm gonna go and just be with you.
Hi, Linda Rousseau. Oh, I'm so happy you guys are coming today. I was excited to share this with you this morning. Let me just wait a couple more minutes before we get.
Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have been loving, I was so scared when to go online with this work, with anything. I was teaching this in person over at the center where I live in Joshua Tree for 10 years. And then when the pandemic hit, I mean, everyone had been asking me to go online and teach for years and years, but I was just afraid of it. And then with Clint's group and everything, and Gerald and Allison, Clint's brother and his wife, I just got more practice in doing it, and it's getting a little easier, but it's still a little scary. All right, let me just send the WhatsApp. What was that group that Andrea, that you guys was a celebration partners or celebration group?
Yeah. Jerem's with us, but he can't do it this morning.
Okay. Okay, maybe it'll just be us because anybody that wants to get on can get in now. So, all right. Well, have you ever done any breath work before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I try to do a little bit every day to breathe.
Yeah, it's helpful, huh?
Yeah.
Dingle, the master teacher who brought these teachings to the West, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, he says, from the first breath of a newborn baby to the last gasp of a dying man, life is a series of breaths. So I always love that. And so it is a practice that when he introduced it, he learned from the monasteries in Tibet. He is a man named Edwin Dingle. Yeah, and he learned all these practices in Tibet for like 20 years and almost died, and then saved himself many times practicing these powerful breath works that work on the endocrine system. So these particular breaths that I'm going to teach you today, now there's years of teachings and spiritual understandings and things that come with this work called the Science of Mentalphysics. But today we're just going to learn the basic 8 key breaths. And even if you just did one of these, it could change your life forever. And I discovered the breath work after I had gone through stage 4 blood cancer, and I was down and out. My entire body was gray, and I felt, and my dad had just passed from COPD, not being able to breathe. And I really felt guided out here. I was living in LA and a crazy busy life, felt guided to come out here to the middle of the desert to study this work. And I started it was all like buried in the attic. And I started uncovering all these amazing teachings from like the early 1900s and digitizing them. So I was finding the old vinyl records and trying to bring it into the 21st century, making MP3s and stuff. And it's just been my passion for all by myself out here in the desert for years and years. And there are a few other people doing it. And my 2 teachers have trained some other reverends that have gone on, and I'm not sure if they're teaching or not, but it has changed everything for me. The doctor said I wouldn't be able to have kids or anything. And I just got all my hormones in balance and was able to get pregnant naturally and have a baby at 41 and I really attribute it to the breath work. So it's pretty amazing. Why don't we sit and get into just a nice calm space here? I'm going to say a couple prayers to bring us into it. He says to undertake the teaching with a deep reverential attitude of mind, right? Just giving thanks for this breath of our life. So as we just come down quietly, becoming centered within our own being, breathing in through the nose And exhaling with a deep sigh. Being present here now. And we just give thanks for being able to be together here today. And we give thanks for the breath of our life and for all the teachers and healers who come before us, carrying down the lineage of this work. We give thanks. We give thanks. Almighty and eternal fount of wisdom, grant us knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we may speak here words of truth, love, and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue, so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seeds sown may find fertile spots to live and grow, so that those who are in darkness and obscurity, may they be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now we imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce this light, as it holds us all protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us the gossamer substance that forms a panoply under which we all rest together in the great peace. Within the circle there is wisdom, and below the circle there is love. God is love. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale with a sigh. So I'll demonstrate each of the breaths one by one. And then were you guys on the call? Have you experienced any of these breaths before? Oh, okay. Okay. I did a call, Ancient Secrets call. I did a few of them, like 3 of them.
I think
Were we there?
I think I had that with you.
Okay.
Just briefly.
Okay.
I'll have beginner's mind.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's always good to have a beginner's mind. So I'll demonstrate them one by one and we can go through it. And there are a few pointers to remember. But first of all, I want to play just a little 2-minute video about Ding LeMay, just to give you an idea who he was.
I just want to go get a pad to write this down. Can you
Sure.
wait 1 second?
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where in the desert are you?
I'm in the Mojave Desert above Palm Springs in Yucca Valley. So it's right next to
Yeah,
Joshua Tree.
great. Beautiful place.
It really is.
My mother lives in, well, I was going to say Rancho Mirage, but I think it's Palm Desert now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have friends in Palm Desert. We go down there often because my daughter has dance class down there. So that's where all the world exists down there, because up here it's just a small little town that shuts down at 8 at night. So
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
oh, of course. Here, I'm going to share my screen and then play this video for you. Let's see what does it say here? Your screen sharing is paused. Okay, I must have hit that by accident here. Let's see. Let me stop it and start it over. Oh, Carol, I've been having technical difficulties this morning on getting people in here and everything.
I gave up and just redid the whole thing. And finally, after 3 tries, I was determined I was going to make it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I had to redo the whole thing too. I had to just get out and start over because I was like, oh no. Okay, let's try this share screen thing one more time here. Let me get my.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Elio.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being so understanding. That's the one thing I love about our soul family is you don't have to be perfect. All right.
True. You were so loved and so supported.
I love you guys so much. Here you go. Thank you for showing up.
The Science of Mental Physics was founded by Edwin John Dingle, himself a true mystic of the great wisdom. Raised in England and educated in publishing, he spent 21 years in the Orient, where he built a large publishing company with offices in Shanghai and Hong Kong. He became the leading economic and geographic authority on China. Details of his distinguished achievements are related in his books, Across China on Foot and Borderlands of Eternity. Always within him burned the constant desire for deeper wisdom, and he studied all religions and mystic knowledge he found through teachers in the East. His travels led him to a Tibetan monastery where he was privileged to study under a remarkable Tibetan teacher, a keeper of the eternal wisdom. With the deep knowledge he acquired in years of arduous study, Reverend Dingle, given the Chinese name of Ding Lamé, formulated the Science of Mental Physics, which reveals the basic truths that underlie all great religions and philosophies of both the East and the West. Mental physics shows the unity between all great spiritual teachings and their ultimate harmony with science. Through the spiritual rebirth of every individual lies the way to spiritual rebirth of every nation and positive peace throughout the world.
So it's just a little tiny tidbit about the man who brought the teachings to the West. He was visited by the sage of Singapore who told him to create a caravan and travel across China into Tibet when really, white men weren't allowed. And he almost died multiple times. He got malaria, was attacked by tigers, all these different things, ended up at the monastery in Tibet where they recognized him as a returning lama. So they said, oh, we've been waiting for you. Welcome back. And he kind of in his book, he's written so many different things, but in this book, My Life in Tibet, where he talks about his journey, he says he was a little angry because he didn't even know what they were talking about, but they taught him how to rejuvenate his body and his spirit. And then he went on to be there with them for about 21 years, learning all these techniques. And the advanced teachings, like the monks would practice burying themselves in sand so they could burying their heads so they could breathe through the pores of their skin. And there's one story about one of the reverends, I think from Sweden or something, who was in a submarine that had like capsized, like the oxygen cords got cut, and he was with 2 other men and he was trying to teach them how to breathe, but they panicked and died, and he survived for 3 days with no air. So that brings me to the point that there is a substance in the air, but it is not the air. It is, our life force energy, prana, chi, whatever you call it. This is a substance that exists when we're breathing in and we become conscious of storing this up. We can actually store this up in our nervous system and our brain for future use. So you can use it to heal yourself or others, or just have vibrant health and energy. And some of these people that we're studying, when I go back and look at these pictures and things of the graduating classes, because in its heyday over here, there were 300,000 students practicing, and it still exists in many, many countries around the world where they practice the breath work I'm going to teach you today. It's huge in India. And in India, it's called Brahma Vidya, which means the science of the knowledge of the divine, which I love. And so Ding Lamé says that the science of mental physics, it really is science and spirituality coming together. And it is a a science of feeling. So when we're going to be doing the breath work today, we're going to be I'll demonstrate each breath, and then we'll do it together, and then we'll sit in quiet meditation while I say an affirmation after each of the breaths. And so when we're in the affirmation part of it, just go within yourself and try to feel what that breath did that we just breathed. Feel what it's doing inside your body. Now, he talks about the endocrine glands as the invisible guardians. So they're the ductless glands that are the organs and tissues of the body that collectively release the substances known as hormones into the bloodstream. So the nervous system sends electrical messages to control and coordinate the body. And the endocrine system has a similar job, but it uses chemicals to communicate, right? And the chemicals are known as hormones. So once you, Carol, I was telling them in the beginning that how I found this breath work is I went through stage 4 blood cancer, and I was gray and down and out. And then my dad died of COPD, not being able to breathe. So witnessing that process, and I literally felt like he guided me out here to the middle of nowhere. I bought a house sight unseen, feeling called to work at this center called the Institute of Mental Physics. I did not know what it was. And I've been obsessively committed to it for 14 years. I just keep making videos and keep trying to get the work out there because it has changed my life, and it's so powerful. And I try to teach it exactly the way it was taught to me, exactly the way. So it's some of the languaging might be a bit antiquated because it's from the early 1900s, but I'm telling you, it will change your life, even if you just do a little bit of it. So there's a few pointers to remember, and that one is called the secret switch. So it's just simply placing your tongue on the roof of your mouth, kind of behind your teeth. There's like a little bump there. You just rest your tongue there, and there is a bone. There is a maxilla bone in the roof of your mouth that actually, when you place your tongue there, sends a message to the nervous system to relax. And so there's a lot of mechanics in the breath work that I'm going to be telling you, and it's going to be hard in the beginning to just keep track of all this, but do your best. Just going to explain it. So if you want to practice on your own, So the secret switch, and then there's the thought, which is simply, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And you can say it however it resonates with you. Thank you, God. Thanks, creative spirit, whatever words resonate for you to give thanks for the breath without which there is no life. So I'll say, remember that secret switch and remember the thought. And then sometimes you'll hear me say, lock it up. And that just means to swallow at the end of the breath, to make it your own and to kind of solidify it in your body. Now, all the mental physics breaths are done breathing in through the nose, because there are specific filters in the nose that sorts it out for the brain. And I know there are some breath work practices that teach just getting air in however you can, but actually in the mental physics teachings, he says that mouth breathers are on their way to death. That's exactly how he says it. So the idea is, and actually people who have problems in their, with their nose or deviated septums or whatever the kind of problems they have been able to sort these out by just doing the breath work. And quick story, there was a man that came to my classes early on, and he was with a cane, and he was completely hunched over like this. And I was a brand new teacher, and I was still studying and everything. And he said, I said, he said, I can't do the movements. What do I do? And at the time I was in the advanced studies that were talking about doing it in your mind alone, because even the body responds to what you're doing in your mind. And so I said to him confidently, just do it in your mind. You just imagine yourself doing it. And week after week after week, this guy was standing upright, 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 upright. I saw him a few years back at the thrift store, and he had no cane or anything. He was totally fine, and he attributes it to the breath work. So it is amazing stuff. It's like, I don't know how it all works in there, but there has been a lot of cases of people healing from many, many things by just doing the work. And like Dr. Naram, saying knowing is not doing, doing is doing. He says that it is, in the practice. The practice is where you're going to get the understanding. Okay, so just to get started, we're going to do the alternate nostril breathing, which is in many yoga traditions. And in mental physics, we plug the right nostril and we inhale for the count of 4. And then we'll hold for 16. And you can also use your thumbs, which correspond to the lung meridians if you want. And then exhale for 8. Inhale 4. Hold for 16. Unplug, exhale for 8. One more time. 4, 16. Unplug the right, exhale 8. Last time, inhale 4. Hold for 16. Unplug, exhale for 8. The harmonic breath can be done. This is a harmonic or balancing breath that actually balances the left and right hemispheres of your brain. This can be done anytime. Like if I drive to Los Angeles, I almost do it the whole time. Just keeps myself totally centered. If you do nothing else, just even hanging on to this breath is a wonderful practice. And when you're breathing in through your right nostril, it corresponds to your nervous system. So you might notice, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but sometimes one of our nostrils is bigger than the other. And I'm sure we've all had the experience where sometimes one is clogged and the other one's like wide open. So the right nostril corresponds to your nervous system. So if that, and the nostrils in a healthy person shift throughout the day, like every couple hours, they shift. One is bigger than the other. The right nostril corresponds to the nervous system. So when you're breathing in that air, it's going up and down the right side of your body. And so if you're getting too much air in the right side, you could tend to be a little nervous, a little high strung. And if you're getting too much air in the left side corresponds to the circulatory system. So if that side is more prominent, you might be a little more lethargic. So it's just a good idea to keep them balanced. And so the right side is solar nervous system, left side is lunar, cooling for the blood. All right. So now we're going to do the first breath called the memory developing breath. One more thing I want to tell you, that Science of Mental Physics is not a religion or anything. It's kind of like the ancient secret stuff. It is a multi-denominational philosophy of thought. It's just been passed down from master to student, from mouth to ear for thousands of years. And they're just also ancient secrets to live a long and happy and healthy life. And the people, I started to tell you, the people that were in their 90s, over there practicing in these pictures, they had no lines on their face. They were like almost cherubic looking, almost translucent looking. It's very strange, like people that had been practicing for years with him. And so he wrote a book called Breathing Your Way to Youth, because I guess activating these endocrine glands and everything helps you stay young and vibrant. And he also mentions that because it's this multi-denominational course of study, the teachings he's the one reason I really love it is he says we are our own guru. All the secrets of the universe reside within us. We just need those tools and techniques to get in there and get and access all of that wisdom that is in every living thing. And one of the main things that he says that I love so much is whatever the creator is, we are that in human form, differentiated from all the other life forms in the universe, right? Like our dog is our dog, God expressing as a dog, or God expressing as a tree, or, you know, so in a myriad of expressions of the great spirit, right? All right, so the memory developing breath is, we're going to be getting copious amounts of oxygen. And as we always joke around, you know, it's like, because of that, our memory improves. But in reality, what this breath is designed to do is to help you remember who you are and what your purpose on the planet is. And this one is to ignite the 49 fires of the body. So all the chakra system, the whole body, this breath will ignite. And the 8 key breaths, which we're going to learn right now, are a systematic series of basically of enlightenment, of getting rid of that which doesn't serve you and creating space for more light to exist in your being, right? So the memory developing breath, I'll demonstrate it and then we can get into it. So this one is palms down on the knees. Don't let this scare you because this one's way more involved than the other 7. And this is done in 3 sets of 14 and then a final triumphant 7. That's what he calls it. So remember the secret switch, which is our tongue on the roof of our mouth. And the inhale in all the breath work is just in through the nose. And then exhaling is like, it's like a forceful CH sound. And it takes a while to get it. Feels a little messy when you're beginning, and this is what it looks like. This breath is like those old water pumps, the old fashioned water pumps where you would pump it. And then the minute you stop, the water begins to flow, right? So this is what we're going to be doing with our bodies. So this is what it looks like. You want to go easy on the head and neck. What's happening is as you're inhaling, your belly is coming out, because with all the mental physics breathings, we want to take the air in through our nose all the way down into the belly first. So your belly should pop out first, and then your chest, and then your upper chest and throat. And then sometimes I'll say big sniff at the top, and that's just to just totally fill it up. So breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth like that. You guys have any questions about this one before we give it a try? Go ahead.
Do we keep our tongue on the special spot?
Yeah, that's a tricky one, because when you exhale forcefully, what I find happens is the tongue tries to stay connected, but it flops down in the middle so that air can come out. So just try to be conscious of the secret switch as often as you can throughout, like when you're inhaling, you can keep it up there. And then you can kind of feel that the sides will try to stay connected when you're conscious of it. Yeah, and just go easy on the neck, because after 49 times it can. All right, are you ready to try this? Okay, so palms downward. Thinking upward to the top of our head, first the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now all together we exhale, making space, putting our head downward, and now up. All count. One more. And now resting and watching within yourself, just feeling after. Feeling any little awareness that strikes your attention. Just observe. And now 2 more 7s. Together we exhale. And up. Last one. And now watching, relaxing, observing. And now 2 more 7s. Together we exhale. And up. Last one. Squeezing all that old air out, making room, relaxing and watching and feeling. And smiling and thinking upward. And now for our final triumphant 7, giving it your very best, spine straight. Together we exhale. Dropping the head forward and up. Last one. Exhaling all the air out, turning the palms upward, getting ready for the affirmations. And now I imagine that great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. The eyes are relaxed. The muscles of the face are withdrawn. The jaw gently drops. No pressure on the teeth. My arms and hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face. My face is bathed in smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. And I feel a gentle pressure from within outward. And that gentle pressure is taking away all the little lines of care, worry, trouble, fear. anything negative. I feel happy all over. And now I bring that light down. My chest is relaxed. The abdomen falls down. And the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems as if I'm looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it, so that I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light, light, light. And I know my whole body to be full of light. If my eye is single, the single eye, the eye of my imagination, the eye that I am now using. If thine eye be single, my whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every cell in that countless, countless number of cells in my body is a lamp, a light, a torch, bringing to me the light of divine wisdom within me. The light that is in perfect correspondence with the flame. And the flame is in perfect correspondence with the fire. The fire. The fire that is in the center of centers of my inmost being. The fire of divine love within me. Within me. And so feeling heavy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, imagining a great golden, golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I lock it up, I swallow, I make it my own as I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Does anyone have any questions about the memory developing breath? We'll just move on into number 2, which is from here on out, all the breaths are done standing. The second breath is called the revitalizing breath. And so from here on out, most of the positioning is the same. You should be barefoot when you're doing the breaths. If it's cold, sometimes I wear socks, but basically you want to have that electrical connection with your feet as if you were sitting in lotus position. So when we're standing and our heels are touching, this is creating that electrical connection that you get with the 7-fold position, like Indian style. So for all the standing breaths, our shoulders are back and down, and our fingertips are pulling downward toward the ground. Knees snapped back, buttocks are tight, everything is tight. So it's this sensation of thinking upward and also pulling downward, grounding downward. So your body's like a lightning rod. Spine is always straight and tall. And again, try to just get that sensation of pulling downward on your fingertips as you're also thinking upward. And everything's very tight. So the revitalizing breath is super simple, especially compared to that last one. It's just exhaling and then breathing all the way into the belly, middle chest, upper chest, and then I'll say big sniff at the top. And you breathe in it like every particle of air that you can to fill your lungs totally full. And then you continue that strong positioning, the tension in the body. One of the most challenging things in the very beginning is keeping that tension on the inhale and also keeping that tension on the exhale. Okay, so you want to stay totally stiff when you're going, and then you want to relax right down. So the importance, the success of this breath and all the breaths depends upon your ability to relax after. Your head and neck is always loose, so try not to make your head and neck tense, but everything else is strong and straight and tense while on the inhale and on the exhale. And then you want to relax right down. After years of doing this, I get I just automatically like snap into position, and I have to unlock my knees to signal to my body to relax. This is great for your posture too, over the years of practicing. Okay, any questions on this one before we do it? All right, the revitalizing breath. Here we go. Strong, knees snap back, buttocks tight, pulling down with the fingertips, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now together we exhale. Now breathing in all the way deep into the belly, into the chest, all the way up into the throat, big sniff at the top. Hold it, keeping that tension. I am the master of my body. I am the master of my body. And now no dropping of the head or the neck. Together we exhale, keeping that tension. And now keeping your eyes closed, relaxing right down. Relaxing completely, coming right down. We think of, we feel for the hidden meaning, the inner meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect, perfect as he, as it, as the Father in heaven within me is perfect. I am strong. I am strong. I am powerful, full of power. Every single cell in my body is a power plant working for me. I am powerful. I am loving. I am the substance of the universe in action. I am love moving. I am loving. I am harmonious, in harmony, balance, poise, equilibrium. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe, the eternal, enduring, imitable, everlasting law of this universe. I am harmonious. I am rich, rich in the many senses of the word. I draw my supply from the source of all supply. I am rich. I am young. I am life's first reflection. I am youth. And I imagine innumerable streams of living light coursing downward in my body. I am young. I am happy, happy. I am the force that propels the fluids of life. I'm happy and I feel happy all over. And if I cannot feel happy, I deliberately make myself laugh. And I see the changed emotional effect. I am happy. And so looking upward to the top of my head, feeling happy and giving thanks, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in every direction. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And I lock it up. I swallow. I make it my own as I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Okay. The third breath is called the inspirational breath. I'll demonstrate. Same position, heels touching. As we're inhaling on this breath, we're going to be slowly inhaling, and it's going to culminate at the top. Big sniff. And at the same time, we want to put our right thumb under our left with a triangle. It's like the triangle of manifestation. And usually I say success to mental physics, success to you and your endeavors. And then this happens very quickly. Backs of the hands together. And then we exhale in 4 parts. And then relaxing right down for the affirmation. Okay, just show you one more time. So we're inhaling. Right thumb under the left, backs of the hands together. All the while keeping that tension. You guys can just pop in if you have questions too, just so you know. All right, here we go. Shoulders back and down. Buttocks tight. Everything is tight except your head and your neck. Think your spine is always straight like a lightning rod. Feeling in your center. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Together we exhale. Making room. And now inhaling all the way in, deep down into the belly, all the way up, big sniff, right thumb under the left, success to mental physics, success to you, backs of the hands together, and exhale in 4 parts. And now relaxing entirely. Coming right down. If you guys want to have a seat, you can. If you want to stay standing, you can, whichever is most comfortable. Coming right down, the body is very heavy and you are happy and relaxed. I thank thee, Lord, for my body, the temple of the living God. The temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. My body, the transcendentally beautiful and the infinitely intricate and the most gloriously accurate instrument in this entire universe. My body, the temple of the living God. The temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration before the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my body. And I pledge myself, I vow that from this moment forward, nothing that I shall do or say or think shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so feeling happy, looking upward to the top of my head and giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions, the secret of the golden flower. Slowly, ever so tenderly, gently, reverently, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Guys are doing awesome. All right. I hope you're feeling better and better. The fourth, go ahead.
Is there going to be, do you have videos of this? So I don't have to be writing notes and.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I can play you and get all the affirmations and all that good stuff?
Absolutely can. Not only that, but in the Eventbrite thing, what I'll do is I'll put this recording, I'll put a link to the YouTube that has a bunch of different kinds of videos. I've made some that are very succinct and some that, because it actually, if you do them the way the way we're doing it, it takes 55 minutes straight through. So I've made some that are shorter and some that are full, and I'll send you the documents as well. So I can attach everything in the back end there so you have all of it. So I'll do that hopefully today.
Thanks.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Found it stopping. I do not know if deliberately or it is the problem with the internet. Sometimes, you're saying something and then it interrupts. And I do not know if it's a deliberate stop or the internet is not working.
I think I understood that. I'm having trouble hearing it a little bit. Joseph, did you get that?
Well, I think you were saying that that she sounds like she's interrupting or stopping or pausing, and you don't know if it's her or the internet. And
Let
I
me
would
try
say,
again.
I think it's your side, Elio. She sounds perfect on our end without interruption. You are cutting in and out on the other hand right now.
Great. Telephone. And I have equipment around that's making. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Elio, maybe if you turn your video off and so that you're not on it, sometimes it helps a little bit with the quality, but just as an option. But either way, I'll send out the video that has the whole
I'm a visual
thing.
person.
Okay. Well, and we love seeing your face. So we'll move into the fourth breath, which is called the. You getting it? I think he might have froze. Okay, here we go into the fourth breath, which is the perfection breath. And so this one, like all of them, begins with that first position with the everything tight and straight, heels touching. And then we get ready and we come out with our arms in front like this with two fists. They don't have to be very strong, just kind of loosely. And then while we're holding our air, we're going to do 3 swings like this, making our body into the form of a cross. 1, swing number 2, nice and easy. Swing number 3. Now it's very controlled. You're not moving your body like this. Your body is tight and straight, just the arms. And then we'll put our arms down at the sides, pulling downward on our fingertips, and exhale. And then again, you can sit down or stand for the affirmation, whichever is most comfortable for you guys. Any questions on that one? No? All right, let's do it. The fourth breath, the perfection breath. We get ready. Everything is tight, pulling downward, head and neck is loose, thinking upward, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought, feel it. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now position, we exhale. Keeping everything tight, breathing all the way into the belly, into the chest, all the way up, big sniff in the throat. We get ready. Swing number 1. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides. We exhale. And then we relax right down. Almighty and eternal fount of wisdom, grant us knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we may speak here words of truth, love, and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue, so that nothing but the truth may here be given. And that the good seeds sown may find fertile spots to live and grow. And those who are now in darkness and obscurity, may they be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now feeling happy, thinking upward to the top of my head, thinking peace, peace, peace. And now relaxing entirely, relaxing right down as I prepare myself to think the greatest thought I shall ever be able to think. Whatever the creator is, I am. Differentiated from all the other life forms in the universe, I am the creator in human form. The creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the being of me, right in the substance of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, Lord of the eternal, you who are the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. Reveal yourself. I wait. I listen. I am still. I watch within me. And now I will to see the Creator at work within the temple. And so feeling happy, upward, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks, imagining that great shower of golden light going out in every direction. Slowly, tenderly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Very good. And if there are no questions, I'll just move into the fifth breath, the vibromagnetic breath. Dingle calls this the first of the electrical breaths. By the way, if you hear me talking about the positive or the negative centers, or the positive or negative centers of my willpower, or anything like that, the idea is that our bodies are like batteries. We actually have a positive and a negative pole that we can charge up our batteries. We can charge up and store energy in our batteries for use at any time in the future. The vibromagnetic breath, the first electrical breath, again, is done with the feet, the heels touching. And this one is pretty simple too. This is just as we're holding our breath and are holding our tension in our body, we're just going to do 3 swings around with our palms facing each other. 3 swings around, just like that. And then we come to the end and we exhale for the affirmation. Okay, so here we are, we're relaxing, we're in the spirit together, relaxing. Okay, now position, pulling down on the fingertips, standing as straight and tall as you can, buttocks tight, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale and make room. Squeeze it all out. And now inhaling deep down into your belly, chest, upper chest, throat, big sniff. We get ready. Swing number 1. Swing number 2, no rush. Swing number 3, arms at the sides, keeping that tension. We exhale. And now relaxing right down, relaxing the whole body, coming right down. Right down, that liquid feeling in the body, as if innumerable streams of living light are coursing downward in the body. As I prepare myself to think of the loveliest thing I have ever known. The loveliest thing I have ever known. There it comes. Before my mind, that beautiful, beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, perhaps from the far away. But there it stands, perfectly, clearly delineated before my mind, as if it happened but a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord, I thank thee, law, for my memory. I am thankful that I'm able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. No idea of negation of whatsoever kind. No idea of disease, senility, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure. Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And now I will that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. I see the whole conduct of man. I see my whole conduct. My whole conduct. And so I know that loveliest thing that I have ever known shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. And so feeling happy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, imagining that golden shower of light going out in all directions, the secret of the golden flower. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I lock it up. I swallow. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh. and I wake up quietly. Okay, we'll move into the sixth breath. You guys are doing great. The sixth breath is called the cleansing breath. And sometimes if we had more time, I just, already hour and 45 minutes is pretty long, but there's so many other amazing meditations and things. And sometimes between the fifth and the sixth breath, there is a healing breath meditation that I would love to do, but I don't think we're going to have time today. But I can send you a video on that as well. So the cleansing breath is similar to the last one, except that this one starts like this. So your right hand holds your left and you pull downward on your elbows like that. So you can see when you pull down, it straightens your spine. So we start this breath like that. Everything is still tight. We have the tension in our body, but we just are holding our left hand in our right, pulling downward. And so when we get ready, I'll say we get ready, we unlock, and then we do 3 swings around with our palms facing downward. But look what we do when we come to the back. We touch all the way around, touch. All the way around, touch. So this is palms facing downward for the cleansing breath. Okay, so shoulders back and down, everything tight, starting position. And now we grab our left hand with our right and pull our elbows straight. It's a little harder to get your full breath like this, so you have to just do your best. And now pulling that secret switch. The thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing all that old air out, inhaling all the way in, deep down into the belly, all the way up to the throat, big sniff. We get ready, we unlock, swing number 1, palms facing down, touch, thumbs together, swing number 2, touch, swing number 3, touch, arms at the sides, exhale, relaxing right down. The success of this breath depends entirely upon your ability to relax. We're relaxing entirely, coming right down. Down, down to the soles of our feet. And now I imagine a great heat at the base of my spine. It's coming up. It's coming up. And now I imagine that great light that comes from the flame, that comes from the fire that gives the heat. And I see this light rising up, up my spine. And I imagine a peacock feather of gold in my spine as I see the light coming up and out, up and out, up and out. It seems to strike upon the surface of my body, up and out. It seems to go beyond my body. And now I think of the top of my head and I see my whole body full of light, the light of divine wisdom that is in every living thing. Om Mani Padme Hum. And so, seeing my whole body full of light, the light of divine wisdom that is in every living thing, slowly feeling happy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. That golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, tenderly, I take that little breath in a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now gratefully, reverently, I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. And now the next breath, the seventh breath, is, he says, we're entering upon the greatest breath we shall ever be able to learn from the point of view of our own physical body as the temple of the living God. And so again, a reminder, the success of this breath also depends upon your ability to relax. This one is very interesting. It's a little tricky. It's a two-part breath. This one, the position, so everything is the same, heels touching, everything's tight, straight, knees snap back. The elbows are pulled forward like this. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate this breath. We're gonna breathe in, and as we're holding our breath, we're gonna drop our head forward and back, forward and back. We do this 3 times, forward and back. Then we stand upright. We exhale all the air out of our body. And then we bring our body forward. We kind of pull down on the head and back, forward and back. We do that 3 times. And then we stand upright. And then on that 3rd time, when you're bringing your body up, you're going to want that breath so bad. So monitor yourselves, because this one still makes me dizzy after 14 years. It still can catch me. And I've seen people like hit the floor. So monitor yourself with this one, or with all of them, of course. Any questions on the grand rejuvenation breath? All right, you guys are doing great. All right, the grand rejuvenation breath. We get ready, everything's tight. We bring our elbows forward, thinking upward, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now together we exhale, making room. Squeezing all that old stale air out, breathing all the way in and down into your belly, all the way in, all the way up, big step. We get ready, we drop the head forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. We stand upright, we exhale. We bring the body forward, don't take a breath. Bring the body forward and back. Do your best. Forward and back. Forward and breathe all the way in. And relaxing right down, relaxing completely. I am heavy. I am happy. I feel heavy all over. I am ready. I am youth. I am youth. Now I remember, I see before me the picture of my idealized self. I see that luxuriant hair, those sparkling eyes, that beautiful, beautiful face, completely unlined and happy. The rounded neck, strong arms and hands, And now I come down over that beautiful being. I thank you, God. I thank you for the truth of my being. I am youth, glorious, radiant, wondrous youth, vivacious youth, vibrant youth, fearless youth, full of courage and strength and power. I am youth, unconquerable youth, conquering, fearless. I thought my body wore out and grew old like an old pair of shoes, but now I know, as I stand gratefully in the presence, that I am being renewed. New cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing, I shout, I sing the song of conquest. There is no age for me, no decay, no disease, no senility, no death. I am free, free from the ravages of time and free from any negation of my own mind. I am youth, youth forevermore. Peace, peace, peace. And so feeling happy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, feeling happy, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I swallow and lock it up. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh, and I wake up younger. And we've made it all the way to the 8th breath today. There are many more breaths, but these are the foundational breathings of Science of Mental Physics, the 8 key breaths. So the final one, the 8th breath, is called your own spiritual breath. And this one is the only one done with the feet apart, like hip width apart. And it has this same positioning with the elbows forward. And everything is tight. And so what this one looks like is as we breathe in and we're holding our breath, we're going to go to the right. We kind of, let's see, you can't really see my feet, but your toes stay touching and then your heels move off the ground, like to the right, to the left, to the right. So we do this 3 times on each side, and then we stand center, and we exhale. And then we get ready for the affirmation. Any questions on anything? I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Okay. The 8th breath, your own spiritual breath. We get ready, pulling those elbows forward, thinking upward, pulling the secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Together we exhale. Squeeze it all out. And now breathing all the way deep down into the belly, all the way up. Big sniff. We get ready to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We stand center. We exhale. And then we slowly drop the hands. We feel ourselves linked here together in spirit with the deepest reverential attitude of mind, enjoying the peace of the spirit together. And now I'm thinking upward. to the top of my head. And I'm thinking joy, joy, joy. And now together we send it out. We embrace all classes, wherever they may be. And we embrace all in mental physics around the world, wherever they may be. I embrace my city. I embrace my state. And now I watch as I see these great waves of light rolling out of their own nature. I embrace my country. I embrace the whole world. I embrace the whole human race. And now, with the light of the divine wisdom within me, with my love, with my joy, with my life, I embrace every living thing. And now I stand fast, lest the light be too great for me as it returns to me by that mystic fourfold law, not from the one point from which I sent it, but from all the points. It's coming back, nearer, nearer. And now it embraces me, it embosoms me, it overwhelms me. That light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, so that I know my whole body, this wide universe, to be full of light, light, light. And now I will charge every cell of my physical body with the light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing. As feeling happy, looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, imagining that golden shower of light, the secret of the golden flower going out in all directions. I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh, and I lock it up, I swallow. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh, and I sit down in peace. And there's just a couple more little things I would like to do. Since we are the creator in human form, it behooves us to use the creative word wisely. And since we know that what we declare, we build into our consciousness, right? Those things that we declare, that we say, especially if we put emotion behind them. So repeat after me in firm, positive tones. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am truth. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. And then there's movements for this one. I am power. Palms down. I am wisdom. I am justice. I am that I am. I give thanks for all that ever was. Feel into it. I give thanks for all that is. And I give thanks for all that ever will be. I question not the divine love, palms upward, wisdom, and justice. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. And may all beings be happy. And this is called the sevenfold peace chant of the Essenes. And I always like to end my class this way. Peace. 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 How's everyone doing?
Doing great. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a little joy for you, I think.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, and here is my, well, I'll be darned, I'm a sugar bowl.
Oh, Carol, I love you.
And I am short and stout, but
Jody, this was so beautiful, incredible.
It really was.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
loved it.
Thank you.
Completely and totally loved it.
You know, at 11 o'clock, I mean, you guys might be exhausted because we've already done 2 hours almost, but at 11 on Wednesday, every Wednesday, I get together with whoever shows up and we practice. We usually, my sister, I'm trying to get her more comfortable leading. So sometimes I'll have her try to do it, but usually we just listen to Ding LeMay. We listen to his voice in an audio that I made, and we just go right through the breath work. So it takes anywhere between 25 minutes to, sometimes 45 minutes, but that's every Wednesday at 11. So I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to pop the link in here for you guys because it's the same one every week, but it's not the one we were on today. So let me just get that.
Is that 11 Pacific?
Yeah, 11 Pacific. And yeah, we love doing that.
So what is the recommendation? That this be done every day or how often?
So it kind of depends on, like, I would say, when he taught this, people were just like the awareness of things were kind of just starting to spread in the West. I think the Eastern traditions have had much more knowledge of things like this. So when he began, he would recommend just working with the one, each breath, like the memory developing breath, just do the harmonic breath before everything. And then the memory developing breath, this one, work with that for a while, just so you can see, because what that does, and that brings another good point, this might stir things up. You know how we do the marmas and stuff? That's what these do. These stir things up in there. So I've had a myriad of what would you call it? Just reactions from people. Sometimes people will call me and say, I've been crying ever since I've done it, or I have hysterical laughter. I can't stop giggling. It just depends on, so really whatever your body needs to release will come up and out. So I would say work the most initially with the memory developing breath, just so that you can clean out and clear out a little bit, and start to understand where that breath goes in your body and how that activates your cells. And then I would say try that and then add on, and then do the harmonic and the memory and then the next one. Or there's really no right or wrong. It just depends on how you feel, However, when I was in my little training group, there was a woman who thought that more is better. And so she did like 8 key breaths several times a day. And she experienced what I would now understand as Kundalini psychosis, where the light rose up too fast and it caused some sort of psychological, I mean, not permanent, but you have to be careful with breath work. It's super powerful. It really is. So I would just say, go easy, because we have our whole lives to do it. It's not like there's no end point. It's just a practice for joy. But I've seen my sister, I mean, when she got on here with me, when the pandemic hit and we took this online, she was depressed and really depressed and angry. And I have seen her like fires light up. She's on fire right now. I want to like do it just because of it. That's what happens. It activates everything in there, you know, and it's very interesting because when I found Clint's, you know, the ancient secrets, Dr. Clint's work and everything, I thought, wow, this is like this missing piece for me, that like a little component of the work I've been doing that's missing. And so I've been incorporating kind of everything together, even when we do the breath work practice, like when we're doing my creative eye, my inner eye, my eternal eye, we do this one at the same time. So we're like trying to get all the benefits at the same time. But when I teach it, I just teach just mental physics so that people can understand what that is. But yeah, once you've got all the mechanics down of the breaths and you're able to do all that, then it goes really deep. It really can take you deep inside yourself. And that's one of the things I love the most is Dingle May always said, like, we, even in their culture, he had a guru who had a guru and all of that. But the teaching is we are our own best teacher. We are our own guru, and we can utilize these different techniques and tools to access that wisdom, you know, that is in us, because we're connected to the all that is, you know.
Wonderful. Can you give us your email so we
Sure.
could, what's your email?
Sure. It's J Curtis, CURTIS 817 at gmail.com. And I'll give you my phone number too, which is 323-712-4740. And I'm going to just pop these couple things in the chat here too, because there are a couple other videos I made on YouTube. One is chanting, because there are like mental physics consists of the first 26 lessons is called the Initiate Group Course. And that's just like the basic spiritual understandings and introduce.
My beloved, I ask us to have our eyes closed.
Oh, wait, it's playing all by itself.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I was like, you know, this technology, you never know. I have multiple windows open here.
I clicked on the link to get it, and that's what happened. It's going to happen again.
Yeah, and it's cool because he, you know, I just have been trying to take all of these different little snippets of things that he said over the years and put them into, you know, videos and audios and things that we can that I can help continue this lineage forward, you know. So, yeah, I just feel like it's very powerful. I hope you guys feel better than when you started. I always say to people when I do these things, like, your money back if you don't feel better than when you got on. Even me, I could be having a horrible day, and then when I get on, I'm like, oh my goodness, changes everything, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I could feel that it's a way to help my body where it needs it.
And that's the thing, is the body wisdom is so smart. Like spirit is so smart that when we do these things, when we do the marmas, when we do the breath, when we do all of this, it knows where to send it, knows what to do with the tools we're giving it. I've seen so many different people heal all kinds of things from this. It's pretty amazing. All kinds of different things.
And do you do private sessions, or if?
I mean, I really haven't, but I would be open to it. You know, if you guys ever want me to lead a group or something, I'd be totally happy to do that and open for it. I've just always for all these years taught this stuff for free as my own spiritual tithe. And then just since I've been lost, my mom died, the pandemic hit, I lost my job, filing bankruptcy. It's like this string of events that I've been going through that so I just thought, well, maybe I could try like donation-based work or something, you know, just to try to get things going. But ultimately I'm going to do it no matter what. I just feel called deep within myself to continue this work. I don't know why. I don't really question it anymore. I just keep doing it, you know, keep sharing it.
What link do we use on Wednesday to get to the class?
Can you get the chat, Elio? It's in the chat. It's the very first one. I can copy and paste it one more time here. So
Elio, I pasted it in your WhatsApp, and I also pasted it for Linda.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I need all that information. My telephone is so far behind. Sometimes it's 15 to 30 seconds behind.
It's in the WhatsApp with you and your picture of you and your beloved.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you. With you.
I've been out of the Ancient Secrets group for a while, like not involved as much as I want to be, because I've just been going through so much stuff. But you guys are always in my mind and heart, and I am so grateful to have the group. I just get, when I go through my stuff, I get really like a monk. I just completely go into my own land and mind and kind of disconnect from people, which is not the best thing. So it's good that I like that I set these classes up, because I make myself do it no matter how I feel, you know.
It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And I have to tell you that you got such beautiful reviews from when you did it in the when we did the celebration. People were just so blown away by you and the power of that experience. So it was really incredible. I was so motivated to come, hearing what everybody said.
Oh, I really appreciate that, because I'll tell you what, I judge myself so harshly. After everything I do, I'm like, oh, I just forgot to do that or say that, or, you know, I wish. So thank you. I'll just leave it there. Thank you so much for saying that, because I really was thinking, oh, I went too fast. I didn't interact with people. You get nervous, and then it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it was
all
really
those ants, the automatic negative thoughts, and you have to kind of squelch the ants sometimes.
Well, actually, I'm glad you said that, because one of the main teachings that Dingle talks about, he says there is only one law, the law of life. All negation is of the mind. So it's life, eternal life unrolling. Like we're either in, and you know what else, like just because it's this group, that I always think of the term sin, you know, when people are talking like in a religious aspect and they talk about sin. Well, back in the day, that term it was an archery term, and it meant to miss the mark. And so I always think of that. It's like we're either in like God does not go anywhere. It's everywhere present, whatever you call it, the Great Spirit, the thing that gives us life. The fact that we share our breath all around the world, we breathe the same air in and out, every single being, no matter what race, color, anything. And I just always think of that, of just how connected we are, and that it's life, eternal life, constantly unflowing. We're either in line with it, or we're in our mind disconnected from it. And it's so hard to stay constantly present in that flow of love, but it is so wonderful when we can, isn't it?
It is.
Yep.
Any other questions or anything about this? Or you guys can contact me anytime. And
I'm so grateful for this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, just really appreciate it.
Very wonderful, kind, and generous of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And again, I will do it anytime I can for anybody. And it's just, if you ask me, I'd be happy to do it. So.
Yeah, beautiful.
So let's say, for instance, we wanted to invite you to do it with a group of people. Is it a 45-minute experience? Is it an hour? What if you just ran us straight through it?
If I ran you straight through it, it probably would. it probably would be an hour, hour 15. So if it was new people, to demonstrate the movements and all of that, but I can chunk it down to probably like an hour and 15 minutes or something.
Okay.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
I try to keep making it as shorter and shorter, but there's so much, like after the first 26 lessons, then there's 123 lessons called the Inner Chamber. And then there's a 3-year teacher training course. So it's like an 8-year curriculum of spiritual understandings and things that you can go through. But, you know, because of the world, the way it is, my intuition, my guidance told me, teach the breath. Like, you don't, like, if people are interested and they want to do more, great, but just teaching the breath work alone is helpful, I think, for people to learn it, because they probably, you know, we have so much information in the world today. It's like information overload, right? But to teach it properly, probably at least an hour.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah.
So exciting to share this with people. Thank you, Elio. Thank you, Linda. Love you guys.
Can we do
Yeah.
this for you? I'd like to send
okay,
you
yes.
some love.
Oh, I've been trying to learn to receive so much. I'm just
Yeah, we love you and we're with you.
wow. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Guys are wonderful.
Love you, Jody.
I love you, Linda. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm always here for you guys, whatever you need.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Blessings to you. Blessings.
You too. Thank you. Back
May
at
you
you.
be happy. May you be free. May you be at peace.
Oh, thank you. And you guys as well.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
you all
Thank
so
you.
much. Oh. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, thank you.
See you real soon.